Fox Sports.
We are the Fourth. We are so.
Last night, Atlanta feasted on the Fish thanks to an 8-run outburst and a fantastic pitching performance from Mike Foltynewicz. Tonight, Julio Teheran takes his turn. Outstanding on the road this year, a return to form awaits. Happy Mother's Day weekend. Saturday Braves baseball starts now. Mother's Day weekend kicks off in Miami, Florida. It's a beautiful night for baseball, and the Braves and Marlins all looking pretty in pink. It's game 2 of a 3-game weekend set. The Braves and the Fighting Fish with the roof open at Marlins Park tonight. Hi again, friends. Joe and Chip. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Great night for Atlanta last night. They won 8-4. Mike Foltynewicz was terrific. The Braves snapped their 6-game losing streak. And tonight, Julio Teheran will try to give the Braves a 2-game winning streak. The road has been the road to success for the Braves right-hander. Hopefully it will be in this ballpark tonight.
It has indeed, but the bad news first. He's lost 2 in a row and 3 out of his last 4. He got off to a rip-roaring start. His first 3 starts, he had an 0.95 ERA, and you're seeing some of that work. That was just brilliant. But since then, it has been a tough road for Julio. Despite his success away from SunTrust Park, his ERA is over 8 over that stretch. But his last 5 road starts, okay, there lies the good news. 3-0, an 0.84 ERA, a 2.09 batting average against, and 5 quality starts right there in those 5 starts. So you said Mother's Day? Yes, indeed. You're going to be seeing guys flash a lot of this today, a lot of pink bats.
Do not adjust your sets. Pink uniforms, pink caps, pink warm-ups, pink catcher's gear. It's going to be a great weekend, and hopefully the Braves will continue their success here in Miami. Kelsey Wingert's along for the ride as well. She'll tell us more about the special events this Mother's Day weekend as we get you ready for Game 2 next.
Mother's Day weekend as Atlanta can clinch a series win today with another win over the Marlins. Now, we all know Mother's Day deserves to be celebrated every day, which makes this MLB initiative even more special. Going to bat against breast cancer. This season, teams will use and wear pink gear today and tomorrow. And the good people down at Louisville Slugger made these special pink bats for the players to use. And the pink bats, the pink incorporated into every uniform, pink stitched Rawlings baseball, and hats for the players to wear. You saw it on the video. The bats are stamped with the MLB breast cancer awareness logo. It wasn't just the players who got the bats. The broadcasters got some pretty cool bats as well. And the players are really enjoying honoring their mothers. They honor their mothers every single day when they take the field, but being able to show it in all of their pink stuff, they really are enjoying it today and showing those moms what they mean to them.
It's just nice just to put on the pink and just represent all the mothers out there, and also your mom also, and you know, the mother of the kids and everything. So you know, this is what we do.
Well, I think it's neat that we're wearing them for 2 days in a row. You know, it's like my wife went through breast cancer and the whole thing, so it kind of holds a special meaning and all for me.
So the bats and all the game-used gears will then be auctioned off between Susan G. Komen and the Stand Up to Cancer Foundation. So two great things that they're going to contribute to, and just a good day in the ballpark for the players to show their mamas how much they love them. But we are continuing to get you ready for Game 2 of the Braves versus the Marlins as Julio Teheran, the ace, takes the mound for the Braves. First pitch and starting lineups with Chip and Joe is coming up next.
Braves Baseball is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. Let's go places. And SunTrust.
Another perfect baseball night in South Florida. It's the Braves and Marlins, Game 2 of our 3-game weekend series. And for the second straight time, Joe, and maybe for the first time in the brief series the Braves have played in this ballpark, the roof's open for consecutive games. And you were absolutely right. This is a totally different place with the roof open. Beautiful night last night. We figured to have the same tonight.
Even in talking to Jim Powell, the radio broadcaster, voice of the Braves, he said the same thing without me prompting him about the same things we had said last night, and how what a different feel it had about the ballpark.
It is a special night. It's Cuban-American night in Miami. And we'll follow that story as the evening goes along. First, a look at the Marlins defense. Stanton, Yelich, and Ozuna from right to left in the outfield. Justin Bour, D. Gordon at second base because J.T. Riddle is back in the lineup. He's at shortstop, as we mentioned last evening. The Marlins have been decimated by injuries among their middle infielders over the last 2 or 3 days. Derek Dietrich hit a home run here last night. He's at third base. J.T. Realmuto is the man behind the plate. If you missed our opening comments, you missed a great story. The Braves have really played dominant baseball against Don Mattingly's ball club in this ballpark. Brian Snitker hopes that trend continues. In fact, Atlanta's won 14 of their last 20 games head-to-head here in South Florida. And with their win last night, a victory tonight against that man means the Braves would have won 2 consecutive games.
That'll be great. 35-13 here since 2012. You're looking at Edinson Volquez, who's coming back from the disabled list. He left this start against the Tampa Bay Rays with a blister on his thumb. But those numbers show you something that hasn't happened in the modern era ever before. He's the first pitcher to walk 8 and strike out 9 in less than 5 innings in a ball game. But command has been a problem for him. And tonight he'll try to get back on the beam. In fact, win his first game of the year. He's 0-4 with a 4.71 ERA. 4-3 lifetime against Atlanta.
And here's the starting 9 presented by Braves manager Brian Snitker. It's brought to you as well by our friends at Toyota. Ender Inciarte leads off. Brandon Phillips bats and plays second. Freddie Freeman, Matt Kemp, Nick Markakis 3, 4, and 5. Tyler Flowers back in there after a 4 RBI night last night. Jace Peterson gives Adonis Garcia a night off. Jace will play third base. Dansby Swanson's got hits in his last 4 games, and Julio Teheran is the pitcher batting ninth. Last night, a huge win for Atlanta. Snapped the losing streak. The Braves bats were booming. They hit the ball out of the ballpark with Tyler Flowers. But more importantly, I think, was the great job Mike Fultonevich did. A start that Brian Snitker said may have been Mike's best of the year, and he's had a handful of very good outings in rotation.
Well, it's just the same thing that everybody else notices, Chip, and that is he's just making strides to being a real quality starter. Last night was another one of those steps. He looked terrific. And even though he was kind of running out of gas there his last inning, he finished with a flurry, and that was good.
So Mike's in the win column. So were the Braves, who start play tonight at 12-20. The Marlins are at 13-21 this year. Ender Inciarte digs in. He's ready to lead things off. Ender had a 1-for-4 night last night, and Volquez delivers low, and we are underway. Dan Bellino calls balls and strikes. 86 degrees at first pitch. One ball, one strike. Pink shoes, pink socks, pink arm sleeves, batting gloves. Some of the players have pink bats. Not Ender, who flies toward left. Ozuna is there, and he's got it for the game's first out.
Volquez, 33 years old, 6 feet 220 out of the Dominican. He's in his 10th year in the big leagues. He's pitched for Texas, Cincinnati, San Diego, Dodgers, Pittsburgh, and most recently with Kansas City, and was on their World Championship team where he pitched 200 innings 2 years ago.
And the Marlins, a small market team, went bargain hunting, and they got Volquez to sign a 2-year, $22 million contract as they try to rebuild their starting rotation. And Brandon Phillips, the batter, he takes a called strike.
These guys were teammates with Cincinnati for a time. Volquez can rush it up there. He's 92-95 with a good changeup.
And Brandon a little late on that pitch. No balls, 2 strikes. Can't imagine how painful it would be to pitch with a blister on your thumb. And he obviously, as you said, threw a ton of pitches in his last start. But that 10-day DL stint must have healed up that issue, and he's back in rotation tonight. And Phillips couldn't check his swing. He knew it. Volquez struck him out. 2 up, 2 down.
He has had a lot of first inning issues. 5 first inning runs in his first 6 starts. Last year, a tremendous problem in the first inning, but so far so good tonight. fresh arm.
Freddie Freeman 1 for 3 last night, hitting .336 for the year. And the Marlins have somewhat of a modified shift on it. They do not have 3 infielders on the right side of the diamond. JT Riddle's just a shade toward the third base side of the second base bag up the middle. And Freddie took a shot the other way and fouled it off. That's one thing Freddie can do with the best of them. Yeah, he can pull a pitch if he wants to. But he can also shoot a ball the other way, which is what he did in the 8th inning last night. Has missed badly. Ball 2.
Has made a start against the Braves last year and was outstanding. 7 innings, 6 hits, just 1 run.
And scorched to the left side and ricochets off the second deck and back down below. Where a fan from Hialeah, Florida made a great catch.
There's the change. Mid-90s down to 86.
And kept next. We await the conclusion of this at bat for Freeman. 3-2 pitch. He is fouled off Real Muto.
Volquez has had the Braves number in recent times, 4-3 lifetime, but his last 3 starts against Atlanta, 3-0 with an .086 ERA.
Freddie rolls toward first. It's a race to the bag, and Volquez got there a half step ahead of the Braves first baseman. And that is retired in order. Julio Teheran will try to answer. We head to the home first. The Marlins were defeated last night 8-4. Julio Teheran has pitched very well on the road in this park. Let's see what he can do tonight.
4 home starts. His splits this year tell you a lot. SunTrust Park, 8.14 ERA. Road starts 0.93. Let's hope that trend continues tonight to get back to 500. He's 2-3 on the year. His 4 keys to pitching success: number 1, on base percentage. Way too many walks. He's averaging over almost 4.5 walks per 9 innings. That's double his career mark of walks per inning. And Marlins mystery, as I said, his last 6 against them, he's 0-3 with a 4.79 ERA. 2 of those starts were here, so hopefully he can figure out whatever's been plaguing him here and get back on track.
Derek Dietrich's going to lead off for Miami. He's their third baseman. Mentioned last night how strange it is not to see D. Gordon hitting first, but it's Dietrich first, Gordon ninth for Don Mattingly again tonight. And Dietrich, with a 2-hit, 1-homer game last night, takes ball one. That one found the mark at 91 miles an hour, 2-1 the count. Best fastball in a while for Julio right there. That one crackled in there. 2-2.
Yeah, right on the corner too.
And found out of play. By my count, the Marlins have 5 left-handed hitters in their starting lineup, and there are some, as you said, Joe, unique lefty-righty splits for Julio Teheran this year.
He got that figured out last year. He got that kind of whittled down because lefties had worn him out some in previous years, but it seems to be back a little bit this year. It's not just the average. Take a look at this. Of his 20 walks, 18 to left-handers in 99 plate appearances. The right-handers, 2 walks in 74 plate appearances.
Now the 2-2. Skied out of play. And Dietrich with a long first inning at bat.
If you look back over his last couple of starts, actually you could go back to his last 4, 373 on base percentage against him. He's had trouble putting people away. He might even get ahead quickly, but he can't get them an early out on just a few pitches.
There's a nasty breaking ball to get Dietrich. An 8-pitch at bat ends in a strikeout, and the Marlins leadoff man is retired.
And he took a little off that. Great location, but also good off speed on it, and had Dietrich out front.
One away for JT Realmuto, the Miami catcher. He hit his first home homer of the year last night, and is batting .305 for the year. Back breaking balls for strikes. He's got a good fastball tonight.
Yeah, he's not pitched in a week. He's got an extra day's rest. All the off days, certainly a welcome sign for the pitchers.
And a bouncing ball fouling out of play. Marlins lineup: Dietrich, Realmuto, then Yelich, Ozuna, and Stanton. That was a key last night. Joe said get 3, 4, 5 guys out on Don Mattingly's Toyota lineup. Bour, Riddle back in there. Volquez the pitcher 8th, D. Gordon 9th. One ball, 2 strikes. Center field, that's well hit. That's going to ricochet off the scoreboard in left center. And JT Realmuto with a ringing double with 1 out.
change up. And inner third of the plate, able to get to it, and fortunately it hit off the wall and not over it. First 2 innings for Julio, not good. Rough starts.
And now another lefty bat. This one, Christian Yelich, who was 2 for 5 last night, 2 singles for the Marlins center field. And that caught him inside corner, a strike.
There are several guys in the lineup that have good numbers against Julio. Yelich is one of them. 324 career average.
Out of the way, even count. You know, Jim Leland, the former Marlins skipper, Pirates skipper, Detroit skipper, and the manager of the American WBC team, gave this kid a great compliment this spring. He said Christian Yelich is going to win a batting title someday. That's probably not too much of a stretch with the kind of season he had last year. Maybe a breakout year for him. In fact, his own teammates have said the secret's out. Yelich isn't going to sneak up on anybody anymore. And here he is in an RBI spot in the first inning. And he pulls that one, and eyelash foul at first.
He doesn't give you the appearance that he will pull the ball. He likes the ball away from him, and he'll drive it to left center. We've seen that a lot. So you saw the first pitch to him, a called strike, maybe a little in off the plate, got the call anyway. But you run that in there, and he can turn on the ball, as you just saw. If you make a mistake, he'll pull it and pull it hard.
So it's 1-2 with 1 out. And up and away. He evens it up. That's fouled off Yelich's foot. We'll do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Those are his numbers against Julio that Joe mentioned. Yelich lifetime against the Braves, a .316 hitter.
Last night he was tomahawking some high fastballs too. I consider him a low ball hitter, but he got on top of a couple of heaters upstairs last night from Fultonevich.
Fly ball right. And playable for Nick Markakis. No advance by Real Muto. Yelich is the second out. And Marcell Ozuna's coming up. Lorenzo Bundy is the Marlins third base coach tonight. No, there's nothing wrong with Freddie Gonzalez. This is a very special day for the entire Gonzalez family. Freddie's not with the Marlins club tonight. His son Alex is graduating from Ole Miss today. So Freddie's with the family. A great story on that in the papers today from Dave O'Brien. Alex Gonzalez is the first member of the Gonzalez family to get a college degree. So they are bursting with pride. First male member, I should say, of the Gonzalez family to graduate. And you know Freddie is bursting with pride over that today.
Congratulations to Alex.
No balls and a strike for Marcell Ozuna. No score, bottom of the first. And right there, 0-2. Freddie will be back, by the way, tomorrow for Mother's Day and the final game of this series.
A couple of pitches that are, I guess, borderline. Go Julio's way. That's a good thing.
Two quick strikes. And Ozuna fought that off. I don't know how you pitch this guy.
The Braves are beginning to. They had some success last night, up and in. And just like that pitch, it looked like it was going to hit him. He swings at it and fought that one off. But they're going upstairs on him. But he can't seem to lay off of it.
The first series, though, we saw him hit a pitch about 9 miles.
I know.
That was up and in. So let's see if Julio can find a hole here with 2 strikes. High fly ball hammered left. Kemp is back to the warning track, to the wall, and the park just big enough to hold that drive.
That might have been the open roof tonight that held that ball up.
A long fly out by Ozuna. Matt Kemp will lead off for Atlanta. The Braves avoid a big scare in the first. Cold hard facts brought to you by Clean, Crisp, Coors Light. A couple of high-flying offenses meet up in Game 2 of this series.
Yeah, a lot of even numbers across the board here for these two outfields, and they are 6 gentlemen that play every night. There are very few substitutions for these guys, unless maybe, as we saw in Houston with DH, guy might get a night off here and there. But the biggest difference right now is run production for heavily in the favor of the Marlins outfield, which is #1 in baseball in RBIs.
So Julio dodges a bullet in the first inning. Ozuna hit an 0-2 pitch to the wall right in front of the Clevelander. Kemp caught it for the 3rd out, and he'll lead things off for the Braves in the 2nd. That was 2 for 5 last night, and he swings at the first one and skies it to the right side and into the seats. Matt Kemp has always enjoyed hitting here. A .362 lifetime average at Marlins Park. A couple of homers. 6 runs batted in. And he didn't get that high fastball. He's down swinging. A couple of strikeouts for Volquez to start the night. He's retired 4 straight.
We were told last night with the roof open that the wind will do typically one of two things. It'll blow straight in from those windows and hold balls up to left field, or it will come over the top of the roof from the first base side and help push fly balls out. I'm watching the flags flutter a little bit out in left center. I have to think the wind was helping hold that ball up that Ozuna hit.
A strike for Nick Markakis, 0-1. So far, Volquez doesn't look like a guy with a 4.71 ERA.
Or a sore thumb.
To center. Yelich with those long legs tracks it down for the second out. And Tyler Flowers is coming up. He'll try to continue his good run at the plate. Tyler hit a homer and drove in 4 in support of Mike Fultonevich last night.
Continues to hit for a high average, gets his hits, and last night a long one.
Line drive homer right over the 386 side. Right over where the pitch speed is displayed on the LED scoreboard in left center. .21 pitches, only 4 out of the strike zone so far for Volquez.
Yeah, and that was an excellent follow-up. Good fastball, first pitch strike call, and then a changeup.
Fouled away. Here's Tyler's long homer last night.
And it was scalded right off the top of the fence.
All Tyler could do was flinch and hope it wouldn't hit a soft spot. He got nailed by a pitched ball.
Again.
He's like a human target up there.
I'd like to say that just got Jersey, but I think otherwise, I think it got him. Well, maybe not. I hope it just got Jersey.
Tyler got hit by a pitch last night, so the inning continues with Jace Peterson. Spot start for Jace at third base tonight. Second time he started a game at the hot corner for Atlanta this year. Chance to give Adonis Garcia a night off. He looked rather uncomfortable running the bases last night. Jace hitting .231 with 6 RBIs. Volquez to the stretch for the first time, falls behind Jace. 2 balls, no strikes.
I know this. Adonis was putting on a show in batting practice. He was hitting balls up into that Budweiser bar area in deep left center.
Way high. 3-0. Braves have had 16 batters hit by a pitch this year, by the way. The rest of the league just must not like our catchers. Suzuki's been hit 5 times. Flowers has been hit 5 times.
Huh.
And Jace Peterson walks on 4 pitches, and the stretch doesn't agree with Volquez here. And now Dansby Swanson has a chance to do something that the Braves did a lot in the 7th inning last night. Maybe score a run without a whole lot of help from the batsman. Marlins are doing that for him.
Well, the same thing applies to Volquez that applied to Teheran. He's issued 22 walks this year coming into this start. 16 to left-handed hitters, 6 to right-handers. And Dansby's coming around. He's 5 for his last 15.
Bour's going to play well off the line at first as the Braves runners lead, and the pitch is taken tomahawk high, ball 1. Julio Teheran is next. They do have a base open. It's third base. Let's see how carefully Volquez works to the Braves shortstop here. Pretty pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, both of the last 2 pitches. Good off-speed pitches. Had him out in front.
Two on, 2 out, 1-2 pitch, and a swing and a miss, and that retires the side. No runs or hits, 2 left after 1.5. Still no score.
The guy that's really sticking out there to me is Irvin Santana. Man, is he on fire. Another great outing last night. And he's now 6-1 with a 1.50 ERA for the first place Minnesota Twins. Bryce Harper will be a free agent after the 2018 season. So the Nationals have locked him up for next year. They don't have to worry about arbitration or any of that. And I think he's probably going to be able to make his house payment at least to the end of the 18 season.
Well, it depends on how big the house is.
Yeah,
but I think you're probably right. Scott Boras is his agent, and all the talk online is that buys the Nationals another 1.5 years to try to work out a long-term deal for a man that will be a free agent after next season, as you said. Julio's out of the first inning. He starts the second with Giancarlo Stanton, the Miami right fielder. And he flinched and took a strike.
Love to see Julio get ahead in the count this inning and see what the results are for him instead of being less aggressive.
Stanton, understandably, does not like that kind of a pitch.
No, but after that last night, he got a line drive base hit right after it.
Aggressive swing there and fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Braves have pitched this man very tough over the course of his major league career. Julio exceptionally so. And a swing and a miss. So the up and in stuff may have paid dividends. Stanton is down on strikes. 2 of those for Julio, and a good start to his second inning.
Beauty. Good change up.
Stanton struck out now 110 times in 324 career at bats against the Braves.
That's a lot, isn't it?
Here's Bour. He'll strike out a time or two, but he'll also hit one a country mile. We saw that last night. Upper deck power for the Miami first baseman. He's hit 9 home runs in his career against the Braves. 7 of them have come in his home park. Julio got that call. 2-1 the count. Bour walks with 1 out. Second base runner for the Marlins. There's another one of those free passes to a left-hand hitter.
Exactly. And I understand the respect that they pay Justin Bour, and he's 4 for 13 with a homer off Julio. But again, getting ahead in the count kind of shifts everything to the pitcher's favor. That first pitch strike. Was unable to do that with Bour.
Marlins are happy to have this young man back. JT Riddle. He got hurt catching a ground ball during batting practice a couple of days ago. Messed up a finger. Came in defensively last night. Didn't swing the bat, but is able to go this evening. And well, the Marlins need infield help with Prado out, with Rojas hurt, with Echeverria out with an oblique. It's been a rough week for the Marlins. Lost 7 of their last 8 games. Riddle, you might recall, made his big league debut against Atlanta on the 11th of April. He got his first big league hit against the Braves here.
And that was after Echeverria had suffered an injury right at the beginning of the season.
Riddle's out of Frankfort, Kentucky, and a Kentucky Wildcat. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's 4th game against Miami, and I don't believe the Braves. I know they haven't seen Prado.
Nope.
And I don't believe they've seen Echeverria.
I think you're right. Another hamstring for Martin.
Bernstein working on his changeup delivery.
2 balls and a strike. High fly ball, shallow center. Andrew's going to have plenty of room to put that away. He does. 2 outs. Bour back to first. And now the Marlins pitcher, Edinson Volquez, is coming up.
And he comes in a hot hitter. 3 for 7. Was an .090 hitter to start for his career to start this season.
Strike 1. Volquez, you might recall, as Joe said, started with the Texas Rangers, went to Cincinnati in a deal for Josh Hamilton. That's popped up right side. Freddie backpedals in foul ground. He puts that away. And Julio Teheran is out of the second. He'll start the third for the Braves. Still no score in Miami.
Pink all over the field in honor of Mother's Day weekend, and there's 2 Adidas athletes on the Braves, Ender Inciarte and Ian Kroll, and they have some very cool cleats on it. Now on these Adidas cleats there are names of all the 150 Adidas athletes in MLB, their mother's name. So 150 names of their mothers have been incorporated into the designs of these cleats. So Chip and Joe, very subtle, but such a cool thing for Adidas to think to do. I love it.
They are cool. I wish I could see them. I'm gonna have to check that out after the game.
Yeah.
As Kelsey said, very subtle.
Great initiative by Major League Baseball with all the pink accessories for the game tonight. As Kelsey reported on Braves Live, those things will be auctioned off. Many of them will be, to benefit the Susan Komen Breast Cancer Research Foundation. Great cause. As we head to the 3rd inning, Julio Teheran leads off and bounces one toward D. Gordon at second. He'll make the flip to first, and Julio peels off after making the first out of the inning.
Now the guy with that wins the shoe contest tonight might be Dietrich at third base for the Marlins, and the ones he had on earlier, I don't know if he's still got them on, were wild.
There they are.
Check them out. Snazzy, I can see you wearing those in Buckhead.
Well, you know I've got a belt to match them, so pretty good chance. Yeah, those are wild, man. Paisley baseball spikes. Just when you thought you'd seen everything, Ender takes up and away. 2 balls and strikes.
They look like they ought to have sprinkles and a cherry on them or something.
Wow. Well, let's just say they're very Miami, right? No strike. It's 2-1. Ender spikes much more subtle than Dietrich's. Inside corner, got the call. 2-2. It's a 3-hour party here on Cuban American night.
There is a game going on, right?
Downstairs. 3-2. This is kind of what the feeling was with a lot more people during the WBC here. It was sold out with all the teams from South America here. It's tipped and caught by Real Muto. Ender thought it hit the dirt, but he's going to flip the bat away in frustration and head back to the dugout. 4 strikeouts already for Volquez, 2 out. Here's Brandon Phillips. He tried to check his swing in the first and couldn't do so. He was called out on strikes. So Phillips 0 for 1. Okay, there's one very noticeable presence not here tonight on Cuban American night. That's Philo Ramirez, the longtime broadcasting voice in Spanish for the Marlins. Philo's 93 years old and suffered a fall on the Marlins road trip that ended up in Philadelphia. And I understand Philo's recuperating. Hope he'll get back soon. He's been an institution here since the day the Marlins began play in the National League. He's had 71 years as a play-by-play announcer, not just in the U.S. but in his native Cuba. Popped up right side. Bour is out of road. And the count for Phillips, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Marlins have a bobblehead doll planned for him at the end of May. And his partner Luis Quintana is holding down the fort until Philo Ramirez comes back.
Yeah, let's hope that he's recuperated enough that he can come out for the bobblehead night, which is just a couple of weeks away.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And Hall of Famer for Miami. It's called 32 World Series and All-Star games. And the All-Star game, of course, will be here in Miami this summer. So Philo, get well soon. This is wild for Phillips, and Volquez missed. 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 hit batsman for Edinson tonight. The Braves are looking for their first hit. Dietrich at third. Fields and fires with those Paisley shoes. No trouble. 3 up, 3 down. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Gordon, Dietrich, and Real Muto are coming up. in Miami. RBI Baseball 2017 comes back with fast-paced pick-up-and-play MLB action packed with all your favorite MLB teams, players, parks, and much more. Get RBI Baseball today for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and mobile devices. Learn more at rbigame.com. D. Gordon's hitting ninth tonight, but he leads off the third for Miami. He's 3 for his last 14 and hitting .263 for the season. And that's fouled back. Strike one.
Strike one, though. Trying to get in there and get that first strike. Great idea.
7 of 9 first pitch strikes for Julio. He struck out 2 and walked 1. And Gordon looks inside, even count. To first, and Freddie Freeman is there. Had Gordon played perfectly. Good start to the inning. 1 out.
You know, with this departure from typical uniforms, usual uniforms, and as strict as they are about pitchers not being able to have anything flashy on their gloves or whatever, man, this is a day I'd take full advantage. He's got the white shoes on with a lot of pink on them. Of course, the uniform's decorated in pink. I'd have a pink glove with all kinds of white stuff on that.
Dietrich jumps on the first pitch and drives it toward Kemp in left. Matt's got plenty of room. 2 are out.
Maybe have on the kind of socks like Ender's got on. Anything that might throw the vision off or distract the hitter a little bit. There you go.
That's not blinding enough for you?
Crack those open and go out there and get after it. Even break in a little Louis Tiant once in a while if you want.
Right, why not? That'd be perfect tonight. As Real Muto digs in, he doubled his first time up. Popped up. Will it stay in play? Flowers behind the plate to the warning track, and the screen is out of room.
Another first pitch strike, though.
You're about to get your ass sued.
Popped up right side, Phillips and Freeman. Who's going to take it? It's going to be Freddie Freeman with a basket catch in foul ground. And that retires the side. A great duel so far tonight. Volquez and Teheran scoreless through 3. Freddie Freeman's coming up for Atlanta in the 4th.
Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. And by Delta Airlines.
Great catch by Freddie Freeman in foul ground a moment ago to end Miami's third inning.
It's the second good catch he's made in foul territory. Remember the running catch he made in Houston?
Freddie having a great start to his 2017 year. He's 0 for 1 tonight at the plate. And that one's skied out of play left side. Steele, right one. You know, this is a special weekend for Freddie Freeman. It's a heart-wrenching one in so many ways for him. He lost his mom, Rosemary, when he was a youngster to cancer. Freddie thinks of her often, especially on the Mother's Day weekend. First, the 0-1 pitch, which straightened him up inside. But 2017, I think, is going to be a very special Mother's Day for Freddie Freeman because his wife Chelsea and son Charlie are with him here on the trip. Popped up left side. Ozuna in left field says he's got it.
He lost it.
He lost it. He did lose it. And that ball's going to drop in the left field corner. And Freeman's around second and will stop there. He lost it in the twilight, I guess. And Freeman stands at second with the first hit of the game for Atlanta. A gift double to start the fourth.
I wonder what was going on. I could see this ball really slicing toward the line, and he wasn't moving with it. And that's not a sign to tell your teammates, I don't see it. That's like, I got it.
That's what I thought he was telling me. That wasn't anything anybody else could do.
No.
So, lost in the twilight. Freeman doubles his 10th two-bagger of the year. Now Matt Kemp will try to drive him home with the first run of the night. Ground ball to Riddle at short. That won't advance Freeman. One out. What a lonely feeling that's got to be in a game like this where one run might decide it and you're out there all by yourself and you lose a fly ball.
Horrible feeling, especially when you know that nobody can come catch it if they see it. But let's think about this. It's not like they get a lot of practice with the roof open on night games.
So Lopez gets the first out. Markakis Batsy line to center in the Braves second. One ball, no strikes. Line drive into left field. That's going to get down for a hit. Freeman racing around third. He's going to score. And the Braves cash in the lost fly ball with the game's first run. An RBI hit for Nick Markakis.
There was a line in one of my favorite movies, American Graffiti, where a girl's talking about a guy she's riding around in a car with, and she says, "Ain't he neat?" That's kind of the way I feel about Nick. Ain't he neat? He just keeps coming through time and time again. And in this case, after Kemp couldn't advance him, he comes through with a base hit to drive in that run. He's really neat.
Julio thinks so. He's got a lead, 1-0. Yeah, the Braves aren't done yet. Here's Tyler Flowers, the human baseball magnet, hit by a pitch for the 5th time back in the 2nd inning. And that one was buzzing inside, almost hit him. 1 ball, no strikes.
What Nick did was like an instant replay, like a flashback to last August and September, because every time the Braves got somebody in scoring position, if it wasn't one guy, then it was the next or the next that drove that run in. The middle of the order was so solid.
1-1 pitch is fouled away. Told you about Suzuki and Flowers getting hit by pitches. Well, they've gotten their revenge at the plate too. That's our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot.
Outstanding work by both gentlemen. Third in RBIs too. 4 last night for Tyler. And go ahead RBIs, both of them. I mean, I think of Kurt Suzuki hitting a big home run in New York. He had another pinch hit single to put him ahead in another game. Tyler won a game here, I think, pinch hitting late in the ball game.
One-two count. That one got away from Real Muto, and then he tried to barehand it and dropped it. Very wild pitch. That was a tough chance for Real Muto. And Markakis moves up 90 feet. He stands there with 1 out.
These guys have a lot of respect for Real Muto and his arm. So when it looked like he was about to recover right here, Nick froze halfway to second base thinking, well, I'm not going to run into an out. And then JT couldn't come up with it cleanly.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Little dribbler hit toward third. Markakis is going to charge across. He's going to stand at third base as Flowers rolls out. And Chase Peterson, the hitter, with a man at third and 2 out. Well, we were talking about this in the Houston series. There has been very little wrong with the Braves offense by and large this year. They're scoring runs. They're hitting the ball out of the ballpark. They're getting their share of offensive chances. The pitching, as far as the rotation is concerned, hasn't been up to par. But you talk to a veteran major league player about this Braves lineup, and he was very, very impressed with it.
He said if the Braves had 3 starting pitchers going well at the same time, he said they'd be moving up the ladder in the National League East because it's a tough lineup.
See if Jace could provide a 2-out run scoring hit. He walked back in the second.
I want to leave Nick's shoes out of the equation. Pretty good Under Armour stuff right there too.
If you like him that much, we can maybe get Rock Hughes, the visiting clubhouse manager, to just shave the metal spikes down. You could add them to your wardrobe for the trip to Toronto.
Well, I was thinking about that for you. I really was, because of your belt selection and how that would just kind of set off your ensembles.
That's what you're calling that? Downstairs for Jace.
Well, lest we forget, Nick is style master.
That's true.
And it doesn't have to be a special occasion for him to break it out on the charters.
Good hitters count for Jace here. 3 balls and a strike. Braves have scored the first run. Nick Markakis singled home Freeman. The pitch. And Jace takes a walk. So Volquez had 8 walks in his last start. He's walked 2 tonight. And he'll go after the Braves shortstop, who struck out on a changeup, I think it was, his last time up.
I think they all 3 might have been changeups. If they weren't, they were a combination of changeups and curveballs. He didn't get 1 fastball.
Now an advantage for Jace here. Last time he was up, Bour was well off the line. Now he's got to hold the runner. Jace has, Dansby, I should say, has the entire right side of the infield to play with if he can poke one that way. And that one not close enough to offer. 1-0.
Yeah, and after the first at bat, you tend to think you're going to see at least one pitch, if not two, of the pitches that you swung and missed at. So in this case, try to stay back, give him the inner half of the plate on the first couple of pitches until you get behind in the count, but cover that outside half.
That's where they're going. And he took a strike.
Got the call.
Didn't get that one. 2-1. Let's see how patient Dansby can be. He does have Julio Teheran hitting behind him. The Braves pitcher is next. Let's see if Volquez will make a mistake. With first and third, 2 outs, he's trailing 1-0.
Still got to cover the outside, especially with 2 strikes.
Line drive into shallow left center is going to drop for a 2-out hit. Peterson to third. Dansby Swanson with an RBI single, and it extends the lead. Great at bat and an even better result.
And same pitch he struck out on basically his first time around. Change up, made a mistake with it inside, and Dansby able to serve it into center field. Nicely done.
So that does a couple of things. It extends the lead, it extends Dansby's hitting streak, and it also allows the Braves to clear Julio Teheran in the 4th. So a long inning for Edinson Volquez. He now trails by 2, and he's ahead of the Braves pitcher with a breaking ball for a strike.
This game is so crazy, it'll drive you nuts when you think about how Volquez started this inning, and he got one of the toughest outs in baseball to fly out to left field. That was going to be 1 out, and Ozuna lost the ball. Couldn't find it.
0-2 for Julio. And a swing and a miss. That's going to retire the Braves pitcher Julio Teheran, but not before Atlanta cashes in a lost fly ball in the twilight. 2-0 after 3.5. fourth inning. We know you've all heard about the beautiful Battery Atlanta in SunTrust Park, so come see it for yourself next week. The Braves are back in town, and you can get the best ticket value on weeknights at the ballpark with tickets in May starting at just $5 for matchups with the Blue Jays May 17th and 18th and the Pittsburgh Pirates May 22nd through the 25th. Get your seats today at braves.com/tickets.
Goodbye.
It's a very good buy.
Bargain. Big inning here for Julio. He's got 3, 4, 5 starting the inning. He's been given a 2-run lead. Needs a shutdown inning, but the toughest part of their order to do that.
This is what I'm told is the Big Boppers portion of the Marlins lineup.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And that's Yelich, Ozuna, and Giancarlo Stanton. Yelich fly to right his first time up. Two runs, 3 hits for the Braves, no runs, a hit for Miami. And ball one outside. There's a strike. It's 2-1.
Changeup's been good tonight.
That's a swinging bunt. It's going to roll fair. Yelich didn't run. He's tagged out at the plate, and there's the first out.
It almost looked like I got blocked by the umpire, but it looked like Tyler was waiting for that ball to spin a little forward. He knew Yelich didn't run. He was waiting to see what would happen. Yep. Ball just died right there.
Just cratered in front of the plate. So that's always helpful to get Yelich to tap out. Now Ozuna, the batter, he flied out to deep left on an 0-2 pitch in the first inning, and you know he's thinking about making up for that lost fly ball. Pop fly back toward us, and quickly 0-2.
We just saw something that may never happen again for the entirety of Christian Yelich's baseball career. A 2 unassisted.
And you can tell how frustrated he was when that ball went fair. Downstairs, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Crowd starting to hoot and holler as Teheran ready for his 1-2 pitch. And a bullet down the third base line. An absolute missile off the bat of Ozuna. And he's on his way to second base with a 1-out double. Big turn there, but he's going to slam on the brakes. Ozuna's had a hot month of May, and it's continued tonight with a ringing double.
Man, can you get the barrel to these pitches? I don't know how, but he does it on a consistent basis. They really had found a spot up and in that he wants to go after the ball and couldn't get to him last night. But that one was 4 inches away from his body, so that gives him room to get the bat to it. Incredible.
Now you've got to deal with Giancarlo Stanton, who represents the tying run. Stanton struck out in the second. And he taps to third. Peterson looks the runner back, and his throw right on the money for out number 2.
1 pitch out from Stanton. You gotta like that too. Or was it 2?
So 1 pitch gets Stanton. Here's Bour, who walked in the second. talked at length about Julio's troubles with the left-hand hitters. They're 0 for 6 so far tonight. Bour has walked. Julio's allowed just 2 hits. He leads 2-0.
Now then, I didn't like the fact that he walked him in the second inning. He gave him nothing to hit. But if he walked him here, I know he's a tying run, wouldn't break my heart. First base open, you got JT Riddle on deck. With all due respect to him, he's 2 for 17 in the big leagues. And while Riddle has a home run, he's not the threat this guy is.
Julio wanted the pitch. It was a changeup. And now the count's 3-0.
Put him on.
And he does walk Bour. And Riddle's coming up.
Guy's got a sore finger on his right hand, sore index finger. So that's on his bottom hand, and the pressure from your top hand on that finger can be painful.
2 on, 2 out, 2-run Atlanta game. And Riddle rolls it foul. Marlins have been very busy with their roster shuffling. They've promoted 6 players from AA since Sunday. They've already returned 3 players since, because of all the injuries they've had to endure. Riddle back in the lineup tonight, and he looks outside to an even count. They also got bad news today. Wei-Yin Chen, who's a terrifically talented left-handed pitcher, had a setback in a bullpen session today. He said his elbow doesn't feel right. No timetable for his return. They were hoping to have him back on Tuesday. That's not going to happen. One ball, one strike for the shortstop, who was late.
The other thing about pitching around Bour is your confidence level goes up a whole lot if you're Julio. You think, all right, I can get this guy. I can make some pitches on this guy without having to be careful trying to pitch to Bour.
And you have an even bigger luxury the way that the Marlins lineup card is stacked up. Let's say he loses Riddle. Let's say he walks him. Well, the pitcher's hitting 8th.
And this guy may well get a base hit and spoil it all. But the odds are better working to him than to Bour.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And fouled over the screen. The 1-2 is high. Ozuna with a 1-out double. Bour with a 2-out walk. That's where the Marlins runners stand. Line drive right field. Marquez got there with a leaping Reaching grab.
See, no trouble.
Oh, that was close. Riddle hit a rocket to right. Julio's out of the 4th inning, and the Braves preserve a 2-0 lead. Momentary scare a moment ago.
Well, Nick's driven in a run, and he just saved at least 1, maybe 2 runs with that good jump and timely catch. No trouble.
It was the shoes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Top of the order. Ender and Ciarte leads off the 5th. Phillips and Freeman to follow. Ender's 0 for 2. He struck out last time up. And Volquez delivers low. Ball 1. Phillies lead the Nationals 3-0 tonight. That game's in the 5th inning. Phillies gave Pete McCannon 2 more years on his contract.
Isn't that great?
Fly ball center. Yelich on the run, still going. That carries to the warning track, and Ender's retired for the first out. That's a long way out there by the home run sculpture.
And I thought that ball was hit pretty well, the way Yelich was kind of sauntering after it. Kind of casual going after it, and then realized it was deeper than he thought. Those long strides are deceptive, though.
Brandon Phillips is 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded out. And takes inside corner strike. Pirates in Arizona, no score in the 2nd. Boy, I hope Chris Ionetta's all right.
Ooh,
see
boy.
that play last night? Iannetta hit in the face with a pitched ball. Was able to leave the field under his own power, but he's going to be out for a while. And really a lot of bad blood over the last couple of years with the Pirates and the Diamondbacks. Remember a couple of years ago, Paul Goldschmidt got hit on the hand, broke his hand in Pittsburgh. And the Diamondbacks playoff hopes went to the DL with Goldschmidt. Ground ball left side. Dietrich's got it. Vacuums and fires. 2 out.
Well, that's why players at all levels are taught to turn away from a pitch if it's coming up and in on you. That's why the ear flap was invented on helmets. Iannetta unfortunately turned. He's right-handed hitter. He turned to his left and exposed his whole face to that pitch. Really scary moment.
Here's Freddie. And that's fouled back to the screen. Freeman's double in the 4th inning led to the first Braves run. Here's a number for you. With that double, Freddie Freeman's now only 11 hits away from 1,000.
No kidding.
No balls at a strike. Mile high fly to left. Ozuna's going to track this one down, and to the edge of the track he goes, and that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down. Bottom of the order up for Miami. Julio leads it 2-zip. Starting to pay big dividends. They've got a lot of powerful young players. They called up a young third baseman whose name escapes me a day or so ago. But the question for the Cubs is, do they have enough pitching right now? Their starters have not been as good this year as they were last year, and perhaps those youngsters are being showcased for a potential starting pitcher deal. We'll see. Lopez lashes one back toward us, out of play, strike one. Good hook. 0-2. And I think you hit it on the head, partner, early in the game. Strike one has been the big difference maker for Julio tonight.
Just more aggressive. Gives him a chance to go somewhere else for a strike or a swing and miss, rather than being 2-0.
Just got Volquez to miss. That is Julio's third strikeout to go along with a couple of walks. And a good start to the inning. D. Gordon, the batter, he bounced out to first. That's deflected off Julio. He says he's got it. Spins and fires, and he made a terrific recovery. He pointed to Freeman right away and said he got it. And his left hand is barking right now.
Yeah, may have hit right above the glove off his wrist. And with a fast runner, that's a heck of a play. says he's okay. Julio's an excellent fielder of his position. He does a lot of little things to help himself, whether it's bunting, one of the best bunters on the team, fielding his position, certainly pickoffs and those types of things. He's got the best move and has more pickoffs than anybody in recent years.
Derek Dietrich, the batter, he's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And took one there. Right down Broadway, strike one. Pro baseball runs in Derek Dietrich's bloodlines. His granddad was Steve Demeter. Played briefly in the big leagues and was a third baseman for the Marlins. Dietrich is their version of Jace Peterson. He can play just about any place. And he always seems to hit well against the Braves. 1 ball, 1 strike. Out of play foul. Ball's one-handed into the stands a mile down the right field line.
He's really quick and has a short swing, and he's very strong. Short, compact swing. It's a good one. He can really turn on it.
Now the 1-2 pitch. Driven to right. Markakis on the run. Won't get to this one. That's going to bounce up against the fence. And Dietrich is on his way to second. He's doubled with 2 outs. So Miami has 3 hits. All 3 of them are 2 base hits.
Unfortunately, this is one with 2 outs at the top of their order, but it was a changeup. Up just enough for him to reach it. Great job of hitting by Dietrich to stay down on that pitch. And as you said, that follow-through is all one-handed. The bat stayed in the zone a long time.
JT Realmuto doubled in the first, popped out to first in the third. So 1 for 2 game for the Miami catcher. And he takes a strike. To third. Jace smothers that and throws across the diamond in time to retire the side. Realmuto hit it hard, but no luck for Miami. We go to the 6th. 2-0 Atlanta in front in game 2.
into a stretch of 20 games in 20 days. That's following 6 off days in the first 32. Brian Snitker said you probably couldn't have put together any worse of a schedule in that start of the season. He said it was very, very difficult to navigate. But the good part is I think these guys are going to look forward to getting in a routine and coming to the ballpark every day instead of having to deal with rainouts and all these different off days. So I think it's going to benefit the team more than anything. Don't you, Joe?
I do, Kelsey, and I think, just speaking for a position player, especially if you get in a good groove, you want to play. You don't want to sit a day. You don't want to rest. You want to keep playing if you're swinging the bat well. And I'll apply that to Dansby Swanson. 1 for 2 tonight, came in 5 for his last 15. If he's starting to get into a nice rhythm and swinging it well, play. Every day. Let's go.
Matt Kemp leads off the 6th, 2-0 Atlanta in front. And that's in for a strike. So, yeah, it's a very odd schedule, made necessary because of the concerns about early April weather. Secondly, it's a very odd schedule in the very limited number of home games the Braves have had to this point. This one's tapped toward Riddle at short. He's got it. And he'll fire across in time for the first out. The Braves have played just a handful of games so far at SunTrust Park. But after we wrap up this road trip to Miami and Toronto, the Jays, the Nationals, the Pirates are in town. We go back out again for a 3-city trip that takes us into June. And then the Braves are home almost the entire month of June, almost the entire month of August, and more home games in September than road.
That's great. There'll be some payback there for sure. But I don't ever recall a season that has started a year with so many 3-city trips. I don't ever remember that. This is the 3rd one already and a 4th one to come.
And 5 of the first 8 of our 3-city trips. And the other part of that rhythm thing is getting familiar with your home park. I've said it before. It's
true.
A home field disadvantage. Braves don't know how it's playing any more than the opponents do.
Very true.
2-0 count. And that's a strike.
Got away with a high change up there.
Mr. Neat is 1 for 2 with a run and an RBI. And a run-saving catch tonight in right field. And he slashes that one toward left. That'll drop in front of Ozuna. Markakis 2 more singles. And 6 hits against the Marlins this year.
It's cool. He frustrates pitchers to no end because they don't know how to pitch him. They don't know where to go, up, down, in, out. Think they can work him away, and slashes one the other way. That's why he's closing in on 2,000 hits, folks. This guy is a professional hitter. We keep saying it. Pretty amazing. Where was it that I read about Nick? I think it's in the front of the Braves notes, that among the guys, among the active players who were closing in on 2,000 hits, he's played in the 2nd fewest games of those guys.
Really?
Yeah.
Flowers the batter. So he's not picking up one hit in 2,000 games. He's racking up a lot of multi-hit games.
Here you go. He's now 74 hits shy of 2,000. Of the 20 active career hit leaders, Nick ranks 11th, despite being tied for the fewest number of years of service.
Wow.
That's what it is.
1 ball, no strikes for Tyler Flowers. Nick's already gotten to the 400 doubles mark. One of 8 active players to reach that milestone.
But the 2 guys that he's tied with for the fewest numbers of years of service, Ian Kinsler, only 1,719 hits, and Dustin Pedroia, 1,717. So he's got 200 more hits than those guys.
Right. Amazing.
Same amount of time.
Two balls, no strikes. Braves trying to add to a 2-run lead. The Marlins bullpen has gotten busy. 1 on, 1 out.
Gotta like that. 9 RBIs in 10 games. Great numbers up and down. Wow, 419 average.
Mile high pop up. This one right down the left field line. Ozuna won't have a play. Did he make that catch? Right down the line. Check this out.
He sure did. Left-hander.
That is awesome.
Got a hug from a girl right away. You what?
That is great. What a catch. The 2-2 pitch is driven out of play, foul. That kid's going to remember that moment for the rest of his life.
You know, that was a mile high, too.
And now everybody else saying, well, he got one. We want one, too. Nick, a short lead from first. Volquez ready now. His 2-2 pitch is grounded toward Riddle at short. Back end. Second one. First. They turn it. Double play. And that ends the Atlanta's 6th. Part of the order up for Miami. Atlanta's up 2-0 in game 2.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by your local Ford dealer and the Georgia Lottery.
You can drive A1A all the way from the deepest part of South Florida all the way to the northeastern coast. That's South Beach here in Miami. Great place to visit, a lot of fun. Art Deco architecture, great food, nighttime entertainment, and they say New York's the city that never sleeps. Well, that part of Miami doesn't go to sleep too often either. As Christian Yelich leads off the Miami 6th, he's 0 for 2. And he just took a strike. Strike after strike on the first pitch from Julio so far in this game. That's off the plate. And even count. R.A. Dickey pitches here tomorrow afternoon. The Marlins have not yet announced their starter.
I keep seeing Dan Straley's name in some publications, but I don't know if they're accurate or if they're just plugging in what maybe is his normal turn.
Swing again, a miss.
Boy, 2 great pitches in this sequence. The first slow curve to start the inning, and a changeup right there that had him way out in front.
So much so he almost lost his batting helmet. One ball, 2 strikes, nobody on or out. Home 6th. Mentioned last night, the 3, 4, 5 guys were extremely important for Mike Foltynewicz to retire. The same is true in this inning. Julio protecting a 2-run advantage. He scattered just 3 hits. And tried the corner, didn't get it. Now Yelich has a full count.
2-0 game. Best he can do is make it 2-1. Don't walk him in front of these other guys.
To second. Phillips to his right, gathers and fires, and got his man. Good recovery for Julio. 1 out. Yelich 0 for 3. Ozuna 1 for 2. But he has hit the ball very hard both times. Mentioned that Ozuna really profited from working with Barry Bonds, who spent a season here as the hitting coach for the Marlins. Marcel has said that the mental approach to hitting was what Bonds really helped him with, the importance of focusing on every single pitch, every single sequence. And something else Marcel has started doing is in the offseason he trains in the Dominican with Robinson Cano, who's built a baseball field at his home there. And Ozuna, one of several major leaguers that goes down there and trains in the offseason. And he's a different guy now than he was a couple of years ago at the plate, at least.
No question. He used to be a guy that was all fastball. Throw him any kind of breaking ball, he's going to swing at it, chase it. He's laying off that pitch now. That one.
And you might remember a couple of years ago, this guy was at a 1 for 36 slump. They sent him to AAA.
Right.
And that surprised a lot of people. He'd apparently fallen out of favor with his organization. And some thought that Ozuna might be a guy that was going to be traded out of town. Scott Boras, his agent, got upset because that dispatch to the minor leagues cost him some major league service time and delayed his free agency.
Scott Boras got upset?
Really? 2019. But obviously, with what Ozuna's doing now, they're real happy to have him hitting fourth between Yelich and Stanton. The 2-2.
The reason I was told he got sent down was because he didn't work hard enough. He was continuing to make the same mistakes, repeating the same mistakes over and over and over again, and wasn't willing to correct them. Last year, Bonds really did do a good job of working on his head and getting him to understand how good he can be if he'll just keep working on some things and not just go up there and be a blind swinger. And he is tough out right now. Man, oh man.
And you see how Julio's trying to pitch him. Northeast to southwest strike zone. And Ozuna fought that off down the right field line. That's going to ricochet back onto the field. And we'll do it again. Yeah, and I said earlier, I don't know how you pitch him, because right now he can get to everything. So Julio has him in a full count. And he just struck him out.
That excited Julio. He won a battle with him. A 3-2 changeup. Way out in front. What a pitch.
So now Giancarlo Stanton hits with 2 outs, bases empty, and he takes inside, ball 1. Julio Teheran has now pitched 25 innings on the road. He has a sub-1 ERA on the road. He's trying to win his 3rd game this year.
4th inning was the inning he walked Bour and had to work extra hard to get Riddle.
Two balls and a strike for Stanton.
Going away, fastball.
Missed a spot. And now it's 3-1.
And sometimes that's from trying to get a little extra on it. Fly open a little bit, your arm drags just because you're trying to throw it a little harder. As it turns out, it's not as hard as one that's just an easy motion on it.
Stanton pops up on a 3-1 count. Brandon Phillips, Freddie Freeman. It'll be Freddie who makes the play, and that will retire the side. Julio Teheran is through 6 with a shutout, and he's coming up in the Atlanta 7th. Jake Owen, and for just $20, get a Viva IP Field Pass to enjoy the concert up close on the field. Go to Braves.com/Jake Owen and get your tickets and field passes today. Julio Teheran has been magnificent tonight. A 3-hit shutout so far through 6 innings. Atlanta's coming up in the 7th with Peterson, Swanson, and Julio coming up. And the Marlins have a new pitcher in relief of Edinson Volquez. It's left-hander Harlan Garcia.
And he was just called up has never pitched above Double-A until this year. 24 years old. First lefty they've had in their bullpen this year. Low to mid-90s fastball, slider, and a changeup.
Jace Peterson, a left-hand batter, the first man he'll face. And the 6'3", 217-pound left-hander misfires with ball 1. One ball, one strike. Yarlene Garcia out of Santo Domingo. He's just 24 years old. And a swing and a miss by Jace. It's 1-2. Peterson's walked twice tonight. Dansby Swanson's next. Volquez didn't pitch badly at all. 2 runs, 4 hits in his 6 innings, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. This game may have turned on a lost fly ball in the twilight. It was off the bat of Freddie Freeman in the 4th inning. Turned into a double. Nick Markakis singled him home with the first run. Dansby Swanson with a 2-out hit in the 4th made it 2-zip. Fly ball center. Yelich retreats, and he's going to have a lot of room. That one carries out to the track as well. A couple of balls have been hit very hard, but that's the old Bermuda Triangle here in Miami. That's where fly balls go to die, and Yelich hauled it in easily for the first out.
Boy, did you see that catch Yelich made against the Mets a couple of weeks ago in New York? Talk about a face plant. Great play.
One of my favorites to watch. He's got a great future. Already off to a great start with the Marlins. Here's Dansby. 1 for 2 with an RBI. And that one pops away. Ball 1. Adonis Garcia's grabbed a bat. Looks like he's going to come on and pinch hit here in the 7th. Julio with 6 shutout innings tonight.
Pitches. But looked like Julio tonight, didn't he?
Sure did. And he was an amazing 18 for 23 in first pitch strikes.
That was certainly the key.
Well hit toward right. Stanton on the run. He retreats toward the corner. And he makes an awkward catch. 2 out. So with 2 outs and nobody aboard, Emilio Bonifacio will instead be the hitter, not Garcia. Emilio came up in the big 6-run 7th inning for the Braves last night, laid down a sacrifice. So he's laid down 3 terrific bunts in the last 2 Braves games. And that 6-run 7th was the biggest scoring inning for the Braves this year.
This is already the 16th pinch hit appearance for Bonifacio. No one else on the team has more than 5.
He skips the rope. Ball 1.
Emilio would break out some good shoes and socks. He's probably had these in his closet for quite a while, waiting for the opportunity.
Favorite day of the year, right? We'll just wait till Father's Day.
Oh my. Pretty slick.
One ball, 2 strikes. And that missed down and in. I've got some questions from fans wondering about the pink apparel. Will this be available to fans to purchase. I don't know the answer to that. I know in the past these uniforms are usually auctioned off. Players usually sign the shoes or the uniforms or what have you. As we mentioned, the proceeds go to breast cancer awareness. As Emilio waits, a 2-2 pitch and strokes one toward Riddle at short. He gloves, he fires to first and makes the play to retire the side. 7th inning stretch. Atlanta's bullpen will go to work. They'll try to protect a 2-0 lead. Their big playoff run in the Western Conference Finals of the NHL Stanley Cup race. We've got your Preds post-game analysis with Terry Crisp and Lindsay Rowley on Predators Live Playoffs Edition here on Fox Sports South at 11:10 Central. Tune in following Preds Game 2 action. What an exciting game for the Preds in Game 1 last night.
I guess so. Overtime. Doesn't get any better than that in Stanley Cup playoffs. Eric O'Flaherty out there for the Braves. He hasn't pitched in about 6 days. His last work was against the Cardinals at home. 2 appearances against them, 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs or walks, a couple of strikeouts.
Well, a couple of things in play here. You mentioned the high pitch count for Julio as Bour drives the first pitch a mile to right. That didn't take long. He hits another upper deck home run, and the lead's cut in half.
Center cut, and a third maybe, and a no-doubter in the first pitch.
I was about to say, you've got the 2 left-handed bats to start the inning in Bour and Riddle. Riddle's going to be taken down for Mike Aviles. But a first pitch homer by Justin Bour into the upper deck now makes it a 2-1 game in the 7th and nobody out. And Aviles pops it up right side. Brandon Phillips says he's got it. He does. 1 away.
This typically for the Braves, 7th inning belongs to Ramirez, 8th to Vizcaino, the 9th to Jim Johnson. Last night Ramirez was kind of pressed into service and he didn't give up a run, but he did give up 2 hits and he was out there a while. I think he threw 26 pitches last night and probably unavailable tonight unless it was maybe for just 1 batter. So O'Flaherty's asked to fill that spot in the 7th.
So Garcia taken down after a 3-up 3-down inning. Tyler Moore was just called up from New Orleans on Tuesday. He comes on and pinch hits and he rips that one out of play, foul. And one of the other things about this inning was the question that the Marlins had of Justin Bour was, could he hit left-handed pitching? Don Mattingly said he was going to give him every opportunity to get his chances. Well, he made some history on the first pitch of this inning.
Yep. First ever homer off a left-handed pitcher.
And it's made a 2-1 game of Game 2 tonight. Ball 1, strike 1 to Tyler Moore. Made Miami's opening day roster, was designated for assignment in mid-April, went to New Orleans April 21st, where he hit .237 with a homer and 7 RBIs. By the way, do you know the name of the New Orleans AAA team?
No.
It used to be the Zephyrs. They're the Baby Cakes. No, I'm not kidding. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Little tapper back to Eric. He's got it. And the flip to first retires Moore, 2 outs.
You know, I know it's all about merchandising. Sell more stuff. I get it.
Yep.
But really?
I swear. I think the team in Jacksonville is the Jumbo Shrimp.
Yeah, they are.
So the New Orleans Baby Cakes. It's hard to make me speechless, but that pretty much does. Here's D. Gordon. He tried to bunt, fouled it off Tyler Flowers' foot. Strike 1. That's bounced toward third. Easy pickup. Toss across in time. And after the first pitch home run by Justin Bour to make it a 2-1 game, Eric O'Flaherty saw the Marlins fail to hit the ball out of the infield. As we get set to go to the 8th, it's a 2-1 game. Let's check in with Kelsey Wingert.
Thanks, Chip. You know, we saw that incredible catch in the stands earlier where I tracked down who it was. It was Jaden, 10 years old. He's here with his entire team. They're from Key West, and when you signed up for that baseball league, you got a ticket to 1 game. So they all got tickets to tonight's game. Jaden, what position do you play?
Second.
Did you know that you made the catch? Did you know it was in your glove?
Yes. Yeah.
Did y'all think he could make the catch?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Is he a good baseball player?
Yes, he is. He's not in second base.
Now tell me about y'all's team. Tell me about how much you love baseball.
A lot.
Yeah. Why? How come?
I don't know.
Why do you guys love baseball?
Well, because we get to be with our friends and hang out.
You get to be with your friends and hang out.
And sometimes we can make some great plays and all that.
Did y'all have any doubt that Jaden could make that catch?
Yes. Yes, he could.
Oh,
I knew he was gonna catch it.
Chip and Joe, I have the whole team down here. Their team is called Moose from Key West. They were all excited to be on TV. Are y'all happy to be on TV right now? Yeah. Now y'all gotta go win some baseball games, okay?
Yeah.
You gotta make more catches like that, Jaden. You got it?
Yeah.
Yes? Chip and Joe, I'll be down here if you need me trying to catch a foul ball because I have to now try to make a good catch to catch up to Jaden.
Well, you had a great catch with that interview. That's like herding cats, getting a bunch of 8-year-olds to answer more than one question with more than one-word answers.
I was just thinking, how much better a name than Moose is than Baby Cakes.
Yeah, well, yeah.
There's little leaguers that have better names.
Now, they're from Key West. If you've ever driven to Key West, once you get into town on the main island, on the northern shore of the island, there's a beautiful little baseball complex that overlooks the one of the naval airfields. And I wonder if that's where those kids play Little League Baseball. There have been some major leaguers that have come from there. Khalil Green was from Key West, Florida before he went to Clemson.
I think Boot Powell was from Key West. Yeah, I think so.
So if you're a Key Wester, you call yourself a conch. And that kid's catch kept someone from getting conked with a great play tonight. So Mike Aviles checks in to play shortstop. Miami has their third reliever on the pitch. It's Nick Whitgren, and he's going to face the top of the Atlanta order. The Braves could use some insurance. It's now a 2-1 score.
He was by far their best reliever last night. He worked the ninth, struck out 2 of the 3 guys he faced.
And they're 0 for 3. Brandon Phillips follows him. He's also 0 for 3. 2-1 game. Good game here in Miami tonight. And a chopper foul. Eddie Perez knocked it down. He'll make a friend in the 15th row. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Fastball, slider, changeup for Whitgren. Low 90s. Good changeup. One of the things about recent games with Miami coming into this series, Braves have won 13 of the last 19, is that they had outscored the Marlins from the 7th inning on. So last night they got 6 runs in the 7th. That makes 38.
Well hit toward right center field. Long run Yelich, but he tracked it down. Little payback for Ender Inciarte, who can't believe it. He's hit the ball on the button 3 times, but this big ballpark has just swallowed up 3 of his deep drives for a tough 0 for 4 night.
I thought that one might get over Yelich's head. High fastball. Short, quick swing, and really a good recovery by Yelich. He had to change directions. But the Braves have outscored him 38-15 from the 7th inning on in the last 20 games played here.
Phillips inside outs, 1 to the right side, and a nice catch. And for Fort Lauderdale made the grab. And the count 0-1. Well, the strength of the Marlins team on paper at the start of the year, as far as their pitching staff was concerned, was supposed to be their relief corps. They've had a rough stretch over the last couple of weeks. In fact, so far against Atlanta, the Braves have scored 9 runs in 10 innings against the Miami relief corps. Big chunk of that came last night. Another run or 2 here in the 8th or 9th would make things a little more comfortable. That's rifled over the screen, foul. Whitgren, 6'2", 216 out of Torrance, California. 9th round pick in 2012. He was a college pitcher at Purdue. He holds the Purdue career record for saves and strikeouts per 9 innings. Little chopper. Whitgren to his right, fields and fires a strike. 2 outs for Freddie Freeman. When we get to the bottom of this 8th inning, Miami will have the top of its order coming up. I would think they'd be extremely careful with Freeman here. Let's see. Line drive deep center. Yelich on the run. He won't get that one. It's off the base of the fence. A first pitch rocket by Freddie Freeman, who has his 2nd double of the night.
That was a BB. That one barely got higher than the fence. Right at the sculptor. And no chance for Yelich to run that one down.
Matt Kemp trying to extend his hitting streak. It stands at 12 games. It's in jeopardy here. Matt with an 0 for 3 game. Braves have had 3 players with a double-digit hit streak already this year. Brandon Phillips had one, Nick Markakis, and now Matt Kemp. Little dribbler hit toward third. Charge, throw, low, ball gets away, and Freeman's going to score. Matt Kemp put it in play, and the Braves get a gift run.
That ought to be a hit and an error because I think he was going to beat it out anyway.
They're going to call that an error all the way, I believe.
Hit and an error, but no RBI.
So they did call it a hit and error. I beg your pardon. So the error is what allowed Freeman to score. Kemp didn't advance. No RBI, but the Braves get an insurance run.
Huge run
against the Miami bullpen. So that quiets the crowd. A run on 2 hits, an error with 2 outs. And Markakis, the batter, he's 2 for 3. And for Kemp, his hitting streak will stand at 13 games now. So that worked out. Arodys Vizcaino's getting ready for the 8th.
For the longest time, Miami was leading the National League in fielding. They were in single digits for errors for a long time. Not that anybody ever expected them to stay there. But with all these injuries and all these guys having to move around and change different positions and maybe places they're not comfortable in or inexperienced, their error total has really ramped up. It's still low. It's at 19, but a lot more for them in recent days.
There's a bullet hit past D. Gordon. Markakis has a 3-hit game. Kemp stops at second. And I'll go back now to what I said when Freeman was up there. I'm really shocked they pitched to him.
2 outs, nobody on, and the Braves are putting some hits together. It's great to see. Big night for Nick.
And Juan Nieves, the pitching coach, out to visit with Whitgren. Braves are hoping to win the first 2 games of this series in Miami. Joe and I will stick around for the recap with you on Braves Live, presented by Xfinity. Jerome will have all the highlights, sound from the locker room. Kelsey Wingert will get that for us, and all the news and notes from around Major League Baseball.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
I don't know when it started, a couple of years ago, maybe longer, when guys started covering their mouth when they talk. Even pitching coaches now cover their mouth. Have you ever heard of anyone reading lips where they were stealing what they were going to do from reading their lips?
I don't know. I thought the funniest one was when we saw the Cardinals in Atlanta, and Sun Wong-Oh, the Korean reliever, had his
interpreter
with the interpreter.
Yeah.
Who in the world's going to understand what he's saying? I don't know.
I've never heard of any.
Fly ball by Flowers. That's well hit to right. Stanton retreats, and he makes the catch. Well, some 2-out magic by the Braves. They pitched to Freddie Freeman and paid a price. Atlanta now leads 3-1. Friday, May 19th. Arrive early for the pregame party with a live band at the new Coca-Cola Roxy, and then enjoy the Braves facing the Washington Nationals. Go to Braves.com/Girls Night Out for more information. Big insurance run scored a moment ago. Freddie Freeman with a 2-out double came home on an infield hit and an error. It's 3-1. Arodys Vizcaino will face now the top of the Miami order.
Since Vizcaino's rough outing against Philadelphia in Philadelphia, where he did not retire a batter, 5 outings, 4 1/3 innings of 1 hit, shutout ball, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. That 1 outing really cost him on his ERA because it's very low if you take that one out.
Derek Dietrich, the first Marlins hitter, and he takes a 97-mile-an-hour fastball for a strike.
Good pitch.
That was called earlier tonight,
yes,
a couple of times.
Uh-huh.
While Dan Bellino's had, I think, a good night behind the plate.
Yeah, it was interesting before the game started. I don't see too many umpires do this, what I'm about to tell you.
Fly ball center. Ender going back. He's to the track. He's still going and makes the catch about 403 feet away. 1 out.
Well, Ender was able to do to somebody what Yelich has been doing to him all night. No, it's rare that you see an umpire before the game starts wipe out the chalk line for the catcher's box, but he took it out. Something Javi Lopez, Tom Glavine, and Greg Maddux would have loved to see that happen.
Here's Real Muto, the Miami catcher. He's doubled in 3 trips. 3-1 Braves leading late on Saturday night in Miami. No swing. A ball and strike. Again, Dickey goes tomorrow afternoon. Here's something that should have you excited. He's 10-2 lifetime against the Marlins.
Is he?
Last win 2012 in his big year with the Mets. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fly ball, he got under it. Kemp will have plenty of room, and he puts that away. 2 outs.
What will be interesting, I think, is to ask R.A. if he'd rather the roof be open or closed.
Well, he's always said, and it's really weird in some ways for a pitcher to say this, a knuckleball pitcher wants the wind blowing out. The reason for that is when he throws the knuckleball, there's more wind resistance on the ball going to the plate, which makes it dance more. So we'll try to find out how R.A. Dickey has pitched in domes in his career. We think the roof's going to be closed tomorrow because of the afternoon heat and humidity, but we won't know for sure.
I think there's a forecast for a little rain too.
One ball, no strikes for Yelich. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Not anymore. A base hit with 2 outs. That was a Nick Markakis-like approach.
It was. Good call there. 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Just get the bat on it. Fastball running away from him too.
So now it's power versus power. Ozuna versus Vizcaino.
I was hoping this guy would come up leading off the 9th.
Did get the slider. Strike 1.
Really a good call there by Tyler Flowers, anticipating him trying to tie it up with 1 swing and threw him something off speed.
1 ball, 1 strike.
I'm oftentimes giving you how tall, how heavy a guy might be coming in out of an opponent's bullpen. What you may not know about Arodys, he's 6 feet tall, and he weighs 230, and he is solid.
Let's see if he can finish the inning right here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Not yet.
Could have gotten away with one there. Stanton very upset with himself. His last at bat when he popped up against this guy, or excuse me, against Teheran. Similar here. Might have jammed himself a little bit. It's almost like he took a little step in before that pitch was delivered.
So we're set for another 1-2 pitch.
Good one. That's the pitch. It was automatic for him to chase before.
That's the biggest difference. So he lives to see another, and this is where you want action. 2-2. You've got Stanton waiting on deck. A 2-out single by Yelich. Ozuna, their cleanup man. Stanton batting 5th. Braves want to see Giancarlo leading off the 9th. Good battle here in the 8th.
Gotta try another slider, I think.
Ninth pitch of the at bat.
They did.
But not close enough to get a swing. So Yelich will be running with 2 outs.
Freddie trying to get Arodys' attention. He's going to play behind him.
Freddie doing what he can to slow Yelich down. 3 balls, 2 strikes. There he goes, the pitch. Struck him out inside corner. And Ozuna can't believe it. Vizcaíno strikes him out looking to end the 8th, and the Braves will head to the 9th with a 3-1 lead. What a pitch.
We'll take that.
Tyler Flowers, one of the best pitch framers in the National League, might have stolen a strike in a big sequence in this game. game. 7 hits by the Braves, 3 of them from the man that earns our Yellowwood Bringing the Lumber honors in Game 2.
What a night for Nick Markakis. Slashing base hit here with 2 outs to drive in a run in the 4th inning. The Braves went on to get 2. Dropped another one in front of Ozuna. And then really saved the day with this catch on a line shot from J.T. Riddle. And just for good measure, a base hit last inning, his 3rd hit of the night.
So a 3-1 Atlanta advantage after 8. Let's get a couple more. Jace Peterson will start, Dansby Swanson to follow, and then the Braves will go to the bench again.
David Phelps on to pitch for the Marlins, and he's been very good lately. He is not allowed a run in his last 7 outings and just 1 hit allowed. Fastball, throws a cutter off his fastball and a curve.
Good crowd tonight of 26,692. The Braves led 2-0 after 4. They got a gift in the 8th to make it 3-1. The Marlins run another homer from Justin Bour, an upper deck shot on the first pitch. Eric O'Flaherty threw him in the 7th inning. His first ever home run against a left-handed pitcher in the major leagues. And of his 10 career homers against Atlanta, 8 have come here. So Braves have to change the scouting report on Justin Bour in this ballpark. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Jace.
To your point that ended the 8th inning, Tyler Flowers did a super job of framing that front door slider to get the called 3rd strike on Ozuna.
Downstairs for Jace, it's a full count. Last year, Phelps went 7-6, 64 appearances, made 5 starts. First pitcher in team history to make 50 or more relief appearances and at least 5 starts in the same season. Part of a 5-player deal with the Yankees before the 2015 season. The 3-2 is downstairs. It skips up there and a leadoff walk. Boy, the Marlins relief corps has base runners all the time. Very few clean innings for them.
Yeah, even with the good work he's put in over his last 7 games, he still walked 4 guys, now 5, to go with 5 strikeouts.
Dansby Swanson has a hit and an RBI tonight. He's 1 for 3. Took a strike. Phelps, a smart guy. He went to Notre Dame, majored in political science and computer applications. He became the 2nd Fighting Irish pitcher in school history to strike out at least 100 batters and have a sub-2 ERA in the same year. Remember Aaron Heilman?
Sure thing.
He was the other guy that did that. David was a star at Hazelwood West High School in suburban St. Louis. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Real Muto's throw, short hops, and Gordon can't corral it. And got wiped out on the hard slide at second base. So Peterson steals a bag. Nice protection by Dansby Swanson. And a runner in scoring position, nobody out.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a hit and run or if he was just trying to protect him, but he did a good job in the process. Good pitch to throw on for Real Muto, but that bat cutting across in front of him may have distracted him a little bit.
So Dansby behind in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner in scoring position. Nobody out.
Great to manufacture a run here without a hit. Just get him over to third. Santana on deck. Come up, hit a sac fly, and get an extra run in.
He tried to shoot one to right field and whistled into the seats. Phelps and Real Muto can't get together on the sides. One thing about Phelps, sadly for him, he's been plagued by injury throughout his career. Right forearm strain, right elbow inflammation. Broke the radius bone on his forearm while pitching in a big league game. And he just struck out Dansby on a cutter over the inside corner.
Yeah, that was questionable, but after the call went the Braves' way against Ozuna, at least it's consistent.
One inning, 1 hit, 1 strikeout for Vizcaíno in relief. Now Santana's coming up with Jason second and 1 away. Fly ball toward right. Stanton retreats. He's got room. Jace will tag. He will head to third. But that costs Atlanta its second out, and Ender Inciarte's the batter.
Well, that was the plan. We just didn't have Jace over at third base to score on it. That's all right. Ender's due right here.
He's 0 for 4. You saw the hitter's frustration after Yelich made another terrific catch in right center on the warning track. Ender thought he hit his 3rd ball well enough to either get it out of the ballpark or off the fence. But Yelich has tracked down 2 of them. Ozuna's tracked down 1 of them in left. And he swings away and fouls one out of play. Strike 1. Jim Johnson's getting ready for the 9th. Stanton, Bour, and Aviles will be the Miami hitters.
And there's nothing he'd like more than to have a 4-1 lead when he comes in.
Chop towards second. Gordon's got it. And it'll be a 3-1 Atlanta lead as the Marlins are up for their last call. Jim Johnson will face the 5, 6, 7 hitters. And the Braves need 3 outs to beat the Marlins again.
getting to know you segment. And last inning, Braves in a sticky spot. Tying run at the plate, 3-2 count. Tough hitter at the plate, and Tyler Flowers did what he does best in the major leagues, and that is frame pitches right here on an inside slider that was probably off the plate, but he stole that. And as you saw in the graphic, 9.2% of the pitches that are out of the zone, he's able to get a strike called. That's best in the majors by a half percentage point over Jeff Mathis, and did what he's best at right there in a real tough spot.
And think about that, 9.2% doesn't seem like a big number. 100 pitches, that's 9 strikes. You get all 9 of them, that's 3 strikeouts. That's an inning of no contact,
and
potentially.
And it's 750 minimum pitches out of the zone to earn that.
So that's too much math for me, but that's pretty good. Jim Johnson on to work the bottom of the 9th inning. He's got Giancarlo Stanton, Justin Bour, and then Aviles in the 9th. There's a strike. Little tapper right back to the mound. Thank you very much. 1 away. Stanton 0 for 4. Didn't get the ball out of the infield in game 2. And an excellent start for Johnson. 1 out.
Boy, did that tie him up. That had some late movement. Not even sure it was a strike to begin with, and he still swung at it. Thank you.
Jim looking for save number 6. His last save May 2nd against the Mets. Here's Bour. Bour can hit one to St. Augustine, and the Braves would still lead. He almost did just that his last time up. Ichiro Suzuki's grabbed a bat. He will come up next. Fouled off a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 2-2. Right side. Phillips has it. Settles and flips to first. 2 down. Jim's right. He has the turbo sinker working.
Well, and you knew what Bour was trying to do there, and he went right over the top of that sinker.
And the last hope for the Marlins is Ichiro Suzuki. Last night he appeared in his 2,528th big league game, tying him with Ernie Banks on the all-time games played list.
Wow.
And he took a strike.
He was trying to start real early last night on his swings when he pinch hit. That was against Jose Ramirez. Starting early didn't help. Struck out.
Strike 2. So the Braves are a strike away from a victory in South Florida. And here it is. Ground ball, just foul at first. That is such an amazing skill for Ichiro Suzuki. He is in motion toward the first base bag at the point of contact, and by the time the ball leaves the bat, he's already a step or two down the first base line.
A lot of infield hits in his career because of it.
The 1-2 pitch again is slapped left side, out of play.
And in his prime, he could really run. And he's not too shabby now for a 40-plus-year-old.
Slapped foul again. Ichiro keeps it alive. .262 hits in a single season for Seattle. In 2004, he hit .372 that year. Bouncer, foul again. Ten consecutive seasons of 200 hits or more, starting his first year in the North American Major Leagues in 2001 with Seattle. The next year, he slumped all the way to 184. A lifetime .313 hitter. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Struck him out, and that's the ball game. Jim Johnson saves it for Julio Teheran, and the Braves have beaten the Marlins again in Miami. First victory for Julio Teheran against the Fish in his last 7 starts against them. He evens his record at 3-3. Edinson Volquez, the tough luck loser, falls to 0-5. Johnson's 6th save, and the Braves have another win streak. They win 2 in a row. 3-1 the final tonight.